The first month of 2026 has delivered a cascade of announcements from the BRICS bloc. While tensions flare in multiple regions and Western media are obsessed over Trump and Greenland, something big is happening. A parallel story is unfolding. The expanded BRICS group is rolling out infrastructure, financial tools, and strategic partnerships that signal a major shift in how global commerce and security operate. The Reserve Bank of India just proposed linking digital currencies across 9 BRICS nations. China, Russia, South Africa, and Iran conducted joint naval operations off the Cape of Good Hope. Russia begins mass production of 300 satellites to rival Starlink. We are witnessing operational systems going live right now. The financial architecture of global trade is being rewired, and most people have no idea. I'm Anastasia, and this is Think BRICS, where we track the institutional changes reshaping international relations. The mainstream coverage often reduces these stories to sound bites. We go deeper. Here is what we are covering today. First, India's official launch of its 2026 BRICS Chairship, complete with new branding and a humanity first agenda, and a controversial new identity. Second, the Reserve Bank of India's proposal for a unified digital currency network that bypasses the dollar. Third, the Wheel for Peace 2026 naval exercises of South Africa, bringing together Chinese, Russian, South African, and Iranian forces. Fourth, Russia's Zorky satellite network, a domestic alternative to Starlink with plans to extend service to BRICS partners. Each of these represents a building block in what proponents call a multipolar order. So let's examine the facts. On January 13th, India formally unveiled its 2026 BRICS Chairship. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar introduced a new logo, theme, and dedicated website. The logo features a lotus with petals and the colors of all member nations. The Namaste gesture sits at the center. India chose the theme Building for Resilience, Innovation, Cooperation, and Sustainability. That spells out BRICS, which is deliberate branding. This marks the 20th anniversary of the grouping's formation. India is framing this milestone as a launchpad for the next 2 decades of Global South leadership. The chairship now includes the expanded membership: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia, alongside the original 5. Dr. Jaishankar outlined 4 priorities: strengthening institutions to handle global shocks, leveraging digital public infrastructure to reach underserved populations, fair energy transitions, respecting national circumstances, and enhanced cooperation across security and trade. Here is one gossip around the controversy erupted over the logo. Critics noticed the BRICS lotus resembles a Hyderabad hospital emblem and accused the government of lazy copy-pasting. Memes flooded opposition accounts. Supporters countered that India already used this lotus for the BRICS summit in 2016, chosen through a public contest. If anyone copied, they say, the hospital did. This discussion stayed within the country, quietly overlooked abroad. Outside India, analysts see the lotus and Namaste as a soft power tied to BRICS expansion and the bloc's 20-year growth. Now the big news. Reports indicate India's central bank proposed a unified BRICS digital currency payment system. This could headline the 2026 summit. Nothing is confirmed, but this signals a shift for India, traditionally reluctant on this front. The concept: link central bank digital currencies across member nations. India's e-rupee, China's digital yuan, Russia's digital ruble connecting through shared infrastructure. Instantaneous cross-border settlement for trade and tourism. Right now, most international trade settles in US dollars through SWIFT. even BRICS to BRICS transactions route through dollar intermediaries. That means costs, delays, and sanctions exposure. The Reserve Bank of India proposal uses blockchain ledgers for rapid, immutable transactions. A Russian tourist pays in digital rubles at an Indian shop. An Indian importer settles Saudi oil in e-rupees, direct central bank transfers. The Reserve Bank of India calls this efficiency, avoiding de-dollarization. The geopolitics are obvious. Trump threatened 100% tariffs on nations abandoning the dollar, yet BRICS nations proceed. All core members run advanced CBDC pilots. India's e-rupee has 7 million users since late 2022. The proposal includes forex swap lines for trade imbalances. Russia accumulated unusable rupee balances before. Weekly settlements would fix this. Will this network launch? The infrastructure exists. Political will appears strong. Before we continue, a quick word about how this channel operates. Think BRICS is a small independent team with no major funders or lobbyists. If you like what we do, please consider supporting us with a super thanks here or through the links you will find below. Your backing expands our coverage. Thank you. So, will this digital currency network actually launch? The technical infrastructure exists. The BRICS bridge is in advanced stage. The political will appears strong. Implementation timelines and regulatory harmonization remain open questions. We will keep you updated for sure. Now, an important news for people that support the idea that BRICS must create a military alliance. And what we are going to tell you seems to go in this direction. From January 9 to 16, something unusual happened in the waters of Simonstown, South Africa. The Wheel for Peace 2026 maritime exercises brought together forces from China, Russia, South Africa, and Iran. The stated theme, joint actions to ensure safety of key shipping lanes and maritime economic activities. These are the waters around the Cape of Good Hope, a critical route for global energy and commodity shipments. China deployed the Type 052DL destroyer Tangshan and replenishment ship Taihu, plus helicopters and special operations troops. Russia contributed the corvette Stoiky and oiler Yelnya. Iran sent its 103rd flotilla. The drills focused on anti-piracy patrols, search and rescue, and counter-terrorism scenarios. In one simulation, Chinese special forces joined South African and Russian units to storm a hijacked vessel and rescue hostages. Observers from Brazil, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, and UAE attended. Western media describe the exercises as confrontational or anti-American. The participating nations frame this differently. They emphasize non-traditional security threats, piracy, maritime crime, terrorism. These affect developing nations directly. South African officials stated these countries are partners in keeping the Indian and Atlantic Oceans safe for trade, providing a public security good. The exercises avoid NATO's approach of identifying an imagined adversary. They focus on practical interoperability for real threats. Is this a new model for maritime security cooperation, or the early stages of a rival military bloc? The participants insist on the former. The operational reality is that these navies are now training together regularly. That builds capability and relationships regardless of stated intentions. The final piece is also connected with security and war, but we need to move to the space. Russia is launching Reshape, a major satellite internet constellation with its backbone satellites named Zorky, meaning watchful, to provide broadband and secure military communications. This directly competes with Starlink. Dmitry Bakanov, CEO of Roscosmos, confirmed serial production of Zorky begins this year. By 2027, over 300 satellites will provide high-speed broadband across Russia's 9 time zones. The strategic motivation is clear. Starlink terminals became battlefield communication infrastructure in Ukraine. Russia watched a foreign-controlled network provide the nervous system for military operations against its forces. Rassvet ensures technological sovereignty. The Zorky 2M satellites are multifunctional. They provide internet to remote areas and civilian vessels. They carry high-resolution cameras for digital mapping, essential for autonomous systems and unmanned vehicles. Military analysts know the network will transform command and control, providing secure satellite links to individual servicemen. Russia is discussing extending Rassvet access to BRICS partners. For nations in Africa and Latin America facing connectivity gaps, this offers an alternative to Western-controlled systems. Russia will use its Soyuz and Angara rockets for deployment, avoiding Western dependencies. The timeline is aggressive. Serial production starting this year, full constellation by next year. Roscosmos had faced delays on past projects. Whether Rassvet meets these targets will indicate Russia's current aerospace manufacturing capacity. If successful, this creates infrastructure multipolarity in low Earth orbit. No single entity controls global connectivity. We made a specific video about it if you want to know more in details. 4 deployments, 1 pattern. Each addresses a Western dependency: payment systems, maritime security, orbital infrastructure. BRICS announced big plans before that never materialized. This time, the infrastructure is tangible. Digital currencies in pilots, navies training together, satellites in production. The post-World War II order emerged from specific circumstances. Those circumstances shifted. Economic weight moved. Technology created new possibilities for parallel systems. What if power spreads among many nations? Could cooperation grow, or might tensions tear things apart instead? The way it's carried out shapes what comes next. Things shift into place. Who even knows what kind of place they're creating? Think about that. And thanks for watching.